What's up, everyone? So I kind of wanted to put together a mini movie, if you will, of Drift Week 7. I have kind of spent quite a bit of time kind of compiling all these together to where they kind of make sense and showing my progress and frustrations. I did cut quite a bit out in my daily vlogs. I had some issues with my computer and, of course, the internet and stuff like that. So I just did quick daily vlogs, and I really appreciate all the views. I think I gained like 75, 78 subscribers, and so I had a goal of hitting 100, and we went past that. And so it's really impressive, and I'm really thankful. I know it seems silly to some people, but it does make it, worthwhile. Honestly, it doesn't have to be a monetary worthwhile. It just makes it worthwhile. So yeah, I wanted to basically compile all of this stuff together and show you and kind of create just basically a mini movie. Now, I will warn you, it is going to be a little long. There is a couple of sponsored posts in it just to kind of shout out some of the people that helped me out along the way and willing to give me a chance, because as we all know, I'm a nobody. And I'm going to go over the cost. At the end of the video, I'm going to kind of break down the cost, how many tanks of gas I did, how many tanks of gas I used, how many miles I drove, and kind of break everything down. I'll kind of hop in and do a little bit of voiceover and let you know where we're at, and kind of break it down into more detail so you fully understand kind of what we did and what I did and what it cost. Kind of a little bit of the behind the scenes. A lot of people are posting videos, and it's definitely not a knock on anybody by any means, but I'll actually give you what I paid and kind of what it endured. And it actually costs more than you think, but it is not a lot of money compared to trying to do over 500 laps collectively in the matter of 11 days that I was gone. And so a lot of those days were spent driving. So I kind of want to break that down and show everybody kind of what's going on. So want to break down the scheduling and kind of what I have planned. I have entered into the Lone Star Drift competition, which is a local Texas comp basically. And so I'm going to enter the G37 in it. This car is just not quite, it's a Texas street legal, so this car is technically not street legal right now. And I have been doing a lot of thinking about the FC. If I really want to get competitive, I have to use a street legal car, obviously, which is the G37. Drifts just fine. This car is like my baby. I've spent blood, sweat, and tears putting it all together and making it literally mine. But it doesn't serve a purpose in this particular competition. It would be a lot of money and kind of crazy to try to even convert this car to be any kind of pro or any kind of AM spec, any kind of class. I mean, it doesn't have the correct bars. For one, it doesn't have the anti-intrusion bars. It's more of a fun track car, and that's what I've been using it for. So I kind of have to make a decision whether I want to get rid of it and kind of start funding, tires and things like that, and really getting serious about finding possibly a, pro-am spec car, something that is ready to go, ready to drift. Both of these cars are, but like I said, to really get competitive and things like that in the future. So yeah, I'll kind of go over a bunch of that stuff. All right, so before we get started, I'll just give you the breakdown. So Drift Week 7. Drift Week consists of driving your drift car on the street to and from the track throughout the entire, it's actually 2 weeks. So it is labeled Drift Week, but for instance, on Drift Week 7, we have 5 tracks, 9 days on track, and we were gone for 14 days in total. So it's different for various people on where they start, how they start. We had the opportunity to trailer our car one time, actually 2 times, but we'll get into that. So the basis of Drift Week is you have the opportunity to trailer your car one time, and that's to an initial meetup point, typically the first track or the last track, whatever is logistically easier for you. And so this one would be where we would have the option to take everything to Musselman Honda in Arizona and park it there for the next 14 days and then stop on the way back down from Utah from Texas. And that just wasn't feasible, so I just made the decision that we're going to drive the entire way. So start here in Dallas and then end up back here in Dallas. So basically left about 5 a.m. I think on a Thursday morning, and we left out of here, and I got to the B&B house, which is the first kind of thing you'll see in the video. We got to the B&B house about 6 p.m. Arizona time, which is, I believe, just an hour behind what we are here in Central. So that was a pretty gnarly drive up front. That was just under 1,000 miles there. That took 4 tanks of gas. So once again, I'll tally all this up, but just to kind of give you an instance, so that's what I drove first half, first time really driving the car. As you can tell, I just got the car a few months ago and hadn't really driven it around. I took some drone videos and did some little parking lot skids with it. And yeah, so we basically drove that. We go to Musselman, and then we spent 2 days at Musselman Honda, and then we drove another 8 hours to California, where we stayed kind of in a central Airbnb. So it was actually an hour and a half from Willow Springs. So we traveled from Musselman Honda. We had a day to travel, and then we spent 1 day at Horse Thief at Willow Springs Raceway in California. And then the next 2 days we spent at Apple Valley Raceway. That's where I chunked the car into the tire wall, and I kind of really, that's where I was really comfortable with the car and starting to really get a feel for it. So then just directly after that, we had another 2 days at Adams. It's a little go-kart track in California. Unfortunately, it's not kept up very well, and they have a pretty hardcore policy on the wall. So even if you scratch the wall, they charge you like $750. So if it's 2 scratches, it's $1,500. And they were literally shutting down the track, running the credit card, and then resuming the drift day. So it was pretty, and it was a really tight track. Like I said, there was potholes. I think Rudy Martinez broke, I know Rudy Martinez broke his rear knuckle. I went off and bent a rim in the same pothole, and a few other people had issues. So anyway, we spent 2 days there, and that's where I initially broke the Slave Master clutch cylinder. It's all kind of a combo piece on the G37 370s, on the 08s. It might be an 07, but typically on the 08s and above. And that is inside the transmission bell housing. So that requires, of course, the car to be jacked up as high as possible, preferably on a lift, drop the transmission, and replace about a $200 part. It was fairly easy once you had all the parts and the lift. It was a very daunting task at 5 p.m., sun setting, getting kicked out, basically either locked in or locked out at Adams. So yeah, we'll kind of explain all that as we go through that. And so anyway, from Adams, we would end up leaving and heading to Las Vegas, where we have a really nice dinner set up. The Shitbox Derby Sugar Daddy race that was planned there on the Derby, and then the awesome late night photo shoot with all the photographers and all the media people, and everybody that was doing Drift Week got to drive around, and we were just driving around the strip and getting pictures taking, and kind of had fun with that. The next stop would actually be another travel day, 8 hours or so out to Utah, to the Utah Motorsports Ranch Park. And then that was 2 days there at that track. I did not actually make it with the clutch repair and a few other slight issues we found with the car up on the lift. Decided just to make the executive decision and go home. We drove through a pretty gnarly blizzard on the way out, and a couple people ended up getting stuck in that blizzard the next couple of days. Utah was pretty gnarly. Props to the dudes that went. A couple of my homies, Cam and the NSD boys, they went and partied on. Jimmy Bruce went. So quite a few people still went. I just decided, I couldn't risk getting stuck again in it. Being my first drift week, that was a pretty gnarly experience. It was like an emotional roller coaster to kind of do that. So we got it done, and we just ended up getting home early. Dan, the guy I brought with me that kind of ran all the mechanicking on the car, he changed the tires, kind of kept everything ready so I could just concentrate and drive. So big shout out to Dan Primrose. He's mainly on Instagram and Facebook. He ended up catching a flight back home early, and so we both got some well-needed rest in our own beds, taking our own shower. The B&Bs were nice, but it's just not home, and it doesn't have to deal with the stress of waking up and all that fun stuff. So if I didn't lose you by now, that's a lot of stuff. That's what we did, and here's the video. So I appreciate it, and please stick around. I do have some important stuff at the end of the video. I have some pretty big changes coming up within my personal life, and I feel like I'll go ahead and just be open with every one of you and just kind of tell you what's going on and kind of my thoughts and all that fun stuff. So even if you skip through it, I would appreciate whatever. So I hope you enjoy. Talk to you again. Getting ready to go to the track. We all meet and do a driver's meeting at 11. We're gonna have a big photo shoot at 11:45, and then hopefully you'll start seeing me do some drifting. I'll also do some ride-alongs and give some shout-outs and all that fun stuff. But definitely wanted to give a shout out to Level Ride Concepts. Hooked me up with they do all my plates, like welding plates for the hydraulic handbrakes, aftermarket handbrakes, stuff like that. They do a lot of work for Drift HQ, so make sure you're following Level Ride Concepts and Thomas, who owns it. He's an awesome dude to deal with. And yeah, so I'm excited, but I'm nervous, and I'm ready, and hopefully I can make a good showing for you.
It's about 12:30. Track has been hot for about 30 minutes. And I'll be honest with you, I am 100% nervous. I am beyond nervous to where as of right now, I'm not really feeling even going out on track. The amount of, y'all know how nervous I get. It's just the crazy amount of cars here. I was thinking, you know, in my mind, I just didn't realize how many cars 50 would be. And so it's really got me in my feelings right now. So yeah, let's take that. Beat a tire?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fucked one up.
Oh yeah, I'm on rim.
Alright, well.
Spectators, I just want to say thank you for coming out and hanging out with us on Drift Week 7. We're just about to launch the car again. Naoki Nakamura is out there in the 350Z that's purple and looks like his car. We have an S13 with him going around the track as well. He's giving ride-alongs to some of the crowd right now, and earlier today at 2:30 he was doing a signature signing session and meet and greet for everybody. Tomorrow he'll be doing that again at 2:30 here until 3:15, doing a meet and greet and signing people's stuff and merch and everything. And if you'd like to meet him, that's a good time. And in the car he's a little hard to meet and see and get stuff signed. This is Drift Week, so these drivers do have to drive these cars across the country. They'll be doing more than 1,500 miles in these cars over the next 2 weeks. 10 days on track, so they have to keep these things alive. It's not like your normal drift event where you can just beat the car up and toss it on a trailer. They do need to beat the cars, have fun, but then maintain them, get them to dinner, get them back to their Airbnbs with all their groups and friends, party, and then get them back here again tomorrow. And then on Monday we drive over to California, and then from California we do track after track after track and head into Utah. So,
having a harder time than I thought getting used to the G37. I don't have the low end torque or the power to get me out of trouble because I don't know this track. I don't have experiences like that. So, yeah. So we've just kind of been chilling. I've done probably 25 laps, which is still more than what I would do at any other track around where I live. So this is definitely more seat time than I've ever gotten in one day. Still going back out tonight. I just working on just certain points of the track instead of trying to just do it all at once and learn it. So I'm just working on the straightaway, the initiation, and then I do the very last turn. And so I've been getting pretty good at that. Once I get that done, I'll go back to the other sections.
Then we're going to do a media meeting at a...
All right, so after that, we are just about to have our driver's meeting. Everyone is kind of scraggling. It's rough for all of us. A lot of us have 20 plus hour drives, 13 plus hour drives, and see, so we got to go. So anyway, just getting tools unpacked, packed back up, out at the B&Bs, back here, like making suspension adjustments. It just takes time, and everyone's kind of lagged out. So, but yeah, so it is time for sponsors. So, big sponsor of me coming this week is Careless. So Evan at Careless, they are amazing. So they provide all the food and snacks for the drivers out here, so we don't have to leave. I mean, you know, we leave at the end of the day to go back to our B&B, and then that's just kind of a stressful thing in its own. We have to take our wheels, take all of our parts that we pull out of the car, and we packed up to travel 3,500 miles across the states. So Evan and his crew at Careless provide all the food. They provide snacks during the for like whenever you don't have food, there's snacks, cokes, water, everything like that. It was around $400 a person, and that's 9 days on track that we get fed breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. And Evan is just so cool. Like, he's just down to earth. All his guys are really nice to everybody and just willing to help do anything. So I decided to purchase some sweaters, and he hooked it up. They have these awesome new floral hats, keychains, stickers, anything like that. So shout out to Careless and Evan and that whole crew. I wouldn't be warm and so snazzy looking without them, and I definitely wouldn't have a full belly. So thanks again, Evan.
Yeah, just got a belt.
You lost a belt! You lost a belt!
That's alright. We'll find out off the track.
So it's about 5:20, couple of wrecks on track. It's red flagged and we closes at 5:30. I did my first ever ride along today, and it absolutely was just fun as hell. The kid had fun. I actually linked the track just perfectly. I was just getting the hang of this track now. And we're packing up. Everybody, as you can see behind me, is packing up. We've got to change to our street tires, tighten up suspension, pack up everything, get back to the B&B, and then we're gonna have kind of an easy night because we've got a big, long 10-hour travel day tomorrow. We do have an S13 with a knuckle issue in our group, S13 Cinder. We think we'll have it fixed for the drive down to California, but we're all gonna kind of stay as a pack, as an Airbnb group, and just kind of support each other and all that fun stuff. So this wraps up day 2, Drift Week. Muzzleman Honda Circuit has been incredible. Careless has been incredible. Lone Star Drift, Aaron Losey, Mark, all the everybody. It's just a blast. I've probably put in around 90 laps between the 2 days, which is more than I've probably ever done. So yeah, Drift Week is the way to go to get experience. So follow along for more. All right, well, as you can tell, we made it, and we are at Starlight Ranch, which is an Airbnb. You'll see more in the morning for the next day's video, but we made it here pretty late. It was a nice, it was a pretty hefty 8-hour drive from Muzzleman to this B&B, and we're smack dab in the middle of the next 2 tracks that we are going to be at. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, we got this whole place to ourselves. There is nothing, absolutely nothing around us. It's actually pretty sweet. So we got all the cars here. I'm doing a little bit of alignment check. It's a pretty gnarly road getting in here, but we got all the cars here. Everybody made it safe and sound. We did a 10-car drift train. We did a 10-car drift train basically from Muzzleman to about an hour outside of this B&B with Naoki and the Valino guys. So that was an awesome experience to do. So yep, check that one off the bucket list. But until then, we're gonna get unpacked, get everything ready. Later. What's up, everyone? So we just arrived at Horse Thief Mile over here at Willow Springs. You can tell from behind me, everyone's kind of just getting here. We have one day at this track, so some of us chose to stay near here and do one night. We chose to stay about an hour out into Starship Ranch. It actually puts us closer to Apple Valley, so we chose to do that since we're there for 2 days. I've never been here, but it is absolutely beautiful out here. So again, this is Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile. You can kind of see the track behind me. I'll flash you around here in a little bit, but we're also on Starlink Wi-Fi, so I was not able to upload my video to YouTube last night. I was going to do like a 10-minute video of traveling with Naoki and drifting and kind of street driving with him and all of our crew. Just a quick little video to kind of a travel montage. But like I said, I was having trouble with the Wi-Fi, the internet. So you'll just have to, you may see this tonight, or you may see this in a couple of days when we get to Vegas and I'm able to like sit down at the hotel and edit and post all these videos that I've been saving up. So I'm going to try to keep going every day. I think that's cool. That's not what I've seen other people do on Drift Week, so I wanted to kind of be one of those. But yeah, so that's what it is. We're out here having a blast. Our crew made it. Everybody's here, safe and sound. We got all our tools, ready to hit this huge track. It is insanely elevation changes, so I'm going to take it really easy today. I don't want to write the car off. I'm still not completely familiar with it. There's Evan, careless. Got the drift foxes. Mr. Edwin. There's Cam. The Colleen Chaser. This is just the best color. What is up, everyone? So, my apologies for not catching along with myself and talking to you about nonsense. You'll probably like it instead, but I'm just having a blast out here at Horse Thieves. I mean, I cannot get enough laps. I've probably got 35 going. I even burned through a whole tank of gas. So, I am taking a break a little bit. I'm here getting gas at the gas station and gonna get a Red Bull or something and head back out. I'm on my second set of tires, ready to do even more. I got more footage for you guys, and yeah, so thanks again. I appreciate it, and I'll let you know. the full walk one, I guess, or it's the big one. But it's pretty old, I guess, like a couple years. Is that good enough for a ride along? I've never done him either, so like, I don't know if it's like worth it or what. Well, so I mean, yeah, we got to buy them, but they definitely bring them to us. Hey. I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm about to go. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, everybody. So you will see, you have already seen a bunch of footage of me absolutely killing it today, I think. And I'm very proud of that. I probably did 120 laps. It is a beautiful racetrack. It is, the sun's going down. It's about 5:30, and we are headed into town to get something to eat, and then back out to the Starlight Ranch, where we get some sleep, and then we wake up and we'll go do another racetrack here in California. Actually, we'll be going to Apple Valley, and yeah, so Odie Bakis was out here, and RCP did a nice little interview with me and the Drift Gang. So yeah, it was a freaking awesome day, much better than yesterday, and just absolutely insane amount of laps and seat time today, just killing it, absolutely killing it. Went through 4 sets of Alinos, and I even used one of my spares. So yeah, it was an incredible day. Until next time, thanks again. Make sure you like and subscribe, because I really appreciate that. I'm starting to see a little bit of traction, and yeah, it's encouraging. So thanks again.